All right, so the average age in the state of Massachusetts as a plumber is 55. I've heard that from a few inspectors, and I'm rolling with that number. So we got the salon rough here. I got Nemo with me, and we're gonna sweat this job instead of pro press. I may be a schlep on here, but I'm still gonna teach him from the beginning. You earn the gun when you can sweat a joint. What you see here is me teaching him on these joints now. He fitted the pipe, and I told him I'd show him how to sweat. I gave him a little explanation while he did it, and he's going to do his first joint at the end of this run. Obviously, this first pipe's going to get pro-pressed by myself because that 45's awfully close. So here he is. This is his first joint. Don't judge him. Because I'll tell you what, by the end of this salon, I can now hand him a torch and walk away from him. But the average age of 55, that means in 10 years, most of them will be retired. And in the next 5 years, most of them will need knee replacements. So there's not many left. And there's a total of 36 vocational high schools in this state. So if you're running 2 cycles of plumbing class, about 15 kids a class, you're looking at about 1,080 students a year are able to get into plumbing during high school. The rest of you are going to have to graduate, get a drug habit, and figure out that college wasn't the way, and then you get into the trades. So Nemo here, he doesn't go to a trade school, and I saw a bunch of apprentices in my comment section saying that they're 16 and they have their apprentice card, which is right. If you go to a vocational school, you're able to get your apprentice card, and you can go on co-op as well. But if you're not in a vocational school, then the apprentice card, I don't even know if you can get it, but it's pointless. You need to have working hours and school hours that same year, every year, in order to take your journeyman's test. I don't know off the top of my head the exact amount of hours, but you need to be having a 40-hour-a-week job. I believe the kids in high school can't hold me to it. They actually get a year knocked off their apprenticeship. Instead of 5, it's 4 because you went to high school and had a job during that time. It's freaking downpouring right now, if you hear that in the background. But anyways, you can think as Nemo, he's just working with his uncle during the summer and just happened to find out that he's kind of good at this shit. So maybe he'll stick with it. So I think to myself, how do you get people interested in something that they don't have a clue about, and then instead you do nothing about it and you just complain that the average age of a plumber is 55? So how do you fix that? Look, hear me out. This kid can sweat a joint with the best of them, all right? We're only doing 1/2 inch, 3/4, and 1 inch on this job. I've been there before where we started at 4 inch and worked our way down to 1/2 inch, all sweating. So don't give me a shit in the comment sections. I just press because it's just easier. Why not? And I don't like my hands turning green at the end of the day. So back to my original thing. How do you turn the average age of a plumber in the state to 35 instead of 55? Well, I don't know how you would have done it in 2002, but in 2023, I believe that what you see online is the way that you're going to turn these kids onto something that they didn't even know they were good at. Social media. The videos that I make are, honestly, I say it all the time, it's to show people that plumbing is not just plungers. You don't just look at a plunger and think plumbing. And that's exactly what Nemo said to me the other day. He goes, I actually like it because every day it's something different. You're never showing up to the job and doing the same thing you did the day before. And there's enough plumbing to go around where you don't have to do the drain cleaning, even though I know it's good money. Trust me, I heard it, I hear it all, but plumbing keeps me busy. And that's what I prefer. So that's what I'm showing off to the people. I call those two one brain. Together, they make one brain. If anybody's curious, this is all family. So they're coming, it's school. I got to get them away from their mom, driving them nuts, and we're keeping them busy at the same time. Now they're doing waist arms together. Don't worry, speaking of waist arms, those two are under 5 feet, 1.5 inch line. Trust me, I know the deal. Mustache is getting thick, boy. But not as thick as your sister, kid. Let's go. One brain's on it. Let's see if they can get this part done. It ain't that hard. Salon sinks, if anybody's interested to know, you transition back to cast iron 6 inches above flood level rim of the fixture. I had to call an inspector and ask him that. And it clearly states it right in our code. Mrs. Eden's working on the Blackstone. I honestly don't know what she's cooking, but it's steak, broccoli, and some other stuff with some homemade peanut sauce on the end run. I never thought I'd be putting out 7-minute videos. In hell, I never would have thought that you people would have watched the 7-minute video. But we all know that cable's dead, and this is what everybody's watching. So back to it. How do you get the kids interested these days? Honestly, social media. Somebody young. I'm not young. I'm 40. But the younger, the better. Man, that sounded creepy. But I can't go back and rewind that. So just somebody they can relate to. How's that? That sounds better. And yes, 5 years, it's a long time to become a plumber, but it's really not that bad because you're only going to school once a week from September to December, and then again from February to May, I believe. Maybe it's 2 times a week, but it's only at night, 6 to 9, 5 to 9, whatever it is. I did it. I actually had to drive 45 minutes from my house. I had to walk my goats to work, though, you know the deal. But I've worked with plenty of kids that came on as apprentices to the company that I worked for, and they said, I've been plumbing for 3 years, but the guy never got me my apprentice card. And I've heard that a lot, and I always thought in my head, I would never be that guy to do that to somebody else, because all you're doing is wasting their time out in the field. They may be learning, but it doesn't mean nothing, because it doesn't count towards their school and their hours. So, with that being said, when Nemo graduates high school, the door is open for him for me to get that apprentice card for him and get him started. I was the one who said I would never hire anybody, but maybe I'll reword that and say I wouldn't hire anyone I don't know. He's family, and I'll hire the family. I also got 2 other kids, maybe even the girls. We'll see how it all goes. Mrs. M's making the peanut sauce in here. She doesn't even need any commentating. She just works her magic over here in the kitchen and people pay attention. I also threw 10 bands on Nemo's lap one day, and I think that was the game changer for him. I'm not too sure. I know it would have made my mind right up right then and there. Like, pay $40,000 for college for the year, for 4 years, or possibly work in someone's house for 2 days and get 10 bands.